After the pro-life bills were signed into law in the last month in Ohio and Georgia and Alabama, the conversation about abortion has shifted into high gear. Now, for the first time, we may be looking at least the notion of abortionists being carted off to jail in the 6 o'clock news. Haven't seen that in 2 generations. Now we have to have the conversation that many pro-lifers have been able to dodge because it's moot because of Roe v. Wade, and that is, what should the punishment be for procuring or performing an abortion? Now we have a flashpoint in the culture war, and the pro-abortion side is certainly doubling and tripling down as it loses more and more control of not just of the narrative, but as it loses contact with reality. As the recent headlines show, here's 3 examples. New York Times, pregnancy kills, abortion saves lives. New York Magazine, abortion is morally good. Celebrity activist Anne Hathaway slams, quote, complicity of white women who backed the Alabama abortion ban. Well, didn't 9 white males give us Roe v. Wade? Florida abortion statistics debunk common pro-choice arguments. Here's a few examples. This is from the Agency of Healthcare Administration, who reports that about 70,000 abortions were performed in Florida last year. 75% of abortions there were elective. In other words, they didn't give a reason for the abortion. Only 20% were due to economic and social reasons. Less than 2% were in cases where a woman cited psychological health problems. 1.5% of the abortions in Florida last year were in cases where a woman's physical health was threatened. 0.3% occurred in cases where a woman's life was in danger. Only 0.14% of Florida abortions had to do with having been raped, and only 0.01% took place in the cases of incestual rape. Now, even though the ratio of abortions due to rape are minuscule, which means the knee-jerk appeal to the rape and incest loophole are specious and they ignore the 99% of the real reasons for abortion, pro-lifers must confront this loophole argument with solid answers. Here are 5. Number 1, the baby is innocent, regardless of its conception circumstances. Our laws are set up to punish the guilty, not the innocent. Very few people support the death penalty for rapists. Why should we support the death penalty for the innocent child involved in that rape? Number 2, people conceived through rape are invariably extremely grateful to be alive. Start that list with gospel singer Ethel Waters, Ryan Baumberger of the Radiance Foundation, former Miss Pennsylvania Valerie Gatto, Judah Myers of Choices for Life, and attorney Rebecca Kisling. A growing number of people conceived through rape are now speaking up about this issue. The Elliott Institute did a study of 192 women who became pregnant through rape. Nearly 80% of those women who aborted the pregnancy and killed the baby reported that abortion had been the wrong solution, a permanent one to a temporary problem. Most women who had abortions said that only increased the trauma they were experiencing. The percentage of women who did give birth, who regretted doing so, was 0. Number 3, allowing abortions for rape leads to legal and moral contradictions. Kidnapping and torture survivor Michelle Knight became pregnant 5 times during the years of her captivity by her sadistic captor, Ariel Castro, and he beat her each time, successfully killing her preborn children. When the trial finally came, Castro was charged with 4 counts of aggravated murder. Now, the jury's decision raises important questions. Is killing wrong based on who kills or on who is killed? If it was wrong for Castro to kill the children he conceived in rape, wouldn't it be wrong for anyone to kill the children conceived in rape? Are we really saying that the right to life is only extended to people according to the perspective of their parents' wishes? Number 4, as it stands, rape is a notoriously difficult crime to prove in court. Allowing an exception based on the accusation of rape will lead to the same thing that happened before abortion was legalized, only to the power of who knows what. The courts will become glutted with accusations of rape in order to qualify for the loophole. A further problem here is if you think about the glacier-like slowness of the justice system, How do you determine that the woman was raped before the baby comes to term? Finally, number 5, women who bring their babies to term after being conceived in rape invariably report that whether or not they gave up the boy or girl for adoption, the new life helped redeem the assault itself. Liana Revedolo and other women in that incredibly hard position credit the growing life of their innocent babies as a motivation not to commit suicide and to not lose hope that a terrible chapter in their story can have a beautiful ending, or at least an ending they can live with. Ask Liana, Ethel, Ryan, Valerie, Judah, or Rebecca, or others. They'll tell you. Choose life. History is the story of God bringing greater good out of things that at first seemed irredeemably evil. Let's be on the right side of that history. Let's choose life. I'm Patrick Coffin. Be a saint. What else is there?